deserve him. I swear.
Tonight on We Don't Deserve Him, the Musk addiction and addition, not addiction. What am I thinking? I need that heroin. An interview with The Economist, Elon Musk schools their editor-in-chief to her face when asked if he cares that people don't like him. Roll it, Doris.
Do you see why this makes people think that this man who has all this power, he's the world's richest man, he thinks he has a right to influence our politics? It's why people loathe you. I mean, some people do loathe you.
Yes, some people do.
But do you understand why?
The fact that, as you pointed out, 250 million people follow me is that I think a lot more people actually like me than don't. And I think a lot more people hate you and the media more than you realize.
Yeah.
Can't we hit them both?
In your face, Harry Potter teacher, British lady. But he wasn't done. Listen to this truth bomb he drops when she accuses him of being far right.
You support not just the populist right, but the far right. In fact, very fringe parties in some countries.
No, I support the normal people.
Okay.
What do you call the far right? Falsely.
You think as the normal person. Okay.
Yes. That we should have secure borders, that we should have safe cities, that we should have sensible spending. Which of those three are far right
Those
fringe?
three? No,
And I would like to just admonish you and the media for the absurd characterization of the far right. It is false and misleading and nonsense.
Yeah. All right. So I guess what gets me about this the most is this is a guy that invented Neuralink, which helps paraplegics, people who can't see, people with like all kinds of conditions to improve their lives.
What a selfish prick.
Yes. And he invented, what's it called? Starlink, which gets the internet to areas, poor areas all around the world for free, where they couldn't get it. But all she says is, you're a rich person. You're a rich. She runs The Economist, and that's all she says.
Yeah, and Starlink, life-changing. I have it in Alaska.
Oh, really?
It was a place where we had really terrible internet, and they charged us way too much money. And I threw Elon's thing in. It worked in about 10 minutes. The guy's I'm a huge Elon fan. I do have an Elon addiction.
Yeah.
Elon is so smart. So much smarter than me that I've recently decided whatever he believes, I just believe it also.
Yeah.
It's so much easier. And we know he's there. I think we know he's there to make the world better because he doesn't need to be there. He doesn't need to do these interviews. He doesn't even need to work with politics. I think he's doing it legitimately for the betterment of society. And I like him. Elon is the only trillionaire, right? He doesn't just have FU money. He's got FU and your whole family money, which I would just like to have I politely disagree money. Can I make one last point?
Yeah.
Too? When she says people loathe you, say what you really mean. She should have said I loathe you.
Right. They
Instead
always
of saying,
They always do the some people.
They always do.
Some people. You know, it'd be like me saying, Sherrod, some people think that you would bang her.
Tell your parents I said hi. First of all, I met Elon Musk.
Yeah.
At an SNL after party. Met him, not impressed.
Really?
Not impressed.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to like him, but he seems like a weirdo. And plus, it's hard for me to believe in any white dude from South Africa. This crowd don't know Nelson Mandela. But yeah, I just can't.
But you have to understand, the personality shouldn't matter when you look at the achievements. The guy doesn't even own a house.
Yeah, some of the achievements are great. I mean, we can all use some of these achievements, but I don't know like Benjamin Franklin or you know whoever invented the light bulb.
That was Thomas Edison.
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
He stole that filament from a black dude. Do your research. This show is about what Greg doesn't know. Flipped it on you.
You did flip it, but it didn't work.
But I'm pulling for him. I want him to be a better person, but the way that I look at him is like, I don't judge people on just money, your monetary gain.
Yeah.
That don't make you a good person.
But judge on his deeds, Sherrod. He's helping.
He should have a lot of money, though, because the people on the money look just like him.
What do you mean?
They're white.
Oh. Sherrod.
Let's see how many Ugandan dollars he got.
No, but he helps people of all color with Starlink. They now
No, that helps everybody. I agree.
Yeah.
Help them to get to capitalism so we
You
can sell
agree
them more
with me, and then you disagree with me, and then you agree with me.
Because, Greg, some of your points are on point. You were different backstage where you use the N-word and we high-five a lot.
You know, he's right. Got me there. Dagan, Elon mentions that, like, Trump's policies were considered normal 15 years ago. Now they're not. Are you surprised by this lady that she drips with this condescension? She's the editor-in-chief of The Economist. How does she not know these things?
How does she wear those shoes to interview
Oh, my God.
the world's greatest entrepreneur and the world's richest man? That was not an interview with Charlize Theron on Le Croisette at Cannes. He, the moment he sat down, knew he could crush her with intellect and rationale because of those shoes.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Open toe raffia wedges. When you were letting your little digits dangle in an interview, you're an unserious person.
Mm-hmm.
You're a dipwit.
Yeah.
Or you were telling the world you were so haughty and arrogant that norms don't apply to you. So this little piggy got her ass handed to her.
Yeah. Tom, it doesn't help that she's British. Like, that accent, it just comes off as like, I'm better than you.
Yeah.
I couldn't get past that.
Yeah, and I mean, she's such a snob. He really handles her well. I feel bad for now the journalists who sit down with Musk. I used to always say that about politicians. I'd say, why do you sit down with this biased person? You know, and I would watch them suffer through the interview. But he always turns the table on them, and he makes them look stupid, and I end up feeling bad for them. He's so classic. He comes in there, he's got the leather jacket. He should have a kitty cat.
Yeah.
You know. First of all, I love the way he does. First of all, it's false. It's false. But he's great. Sherrod, you're totally wrong about him. He's fantastic. He's, you know, obviously he's aspirational. We all want to be like Elon Musk, and I would do things just like him. He has done so much for freedom of speech just by buying Twitter.
My God, that saved everything.
Saved everything. Saved him even.
Saved you!
Saved me?
You just see a white guy.
I stay off of Twitter because of that. Well, who really love Elon Musk? The Indians. They love Tesla.
Yeah?
Every time I go to it, I'm like, is this a spelling bee? Why is there so many Indians in here?
You're also wrong, Sherrod, about Greg. You always high-five him, but when I use the N-word, you just glare at me.
You usually roll the window up when you do.
I just see this image of you driving by, looking at Sherrod.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.